you're looking at basically about a click-and-a-half movement out and back.
Yeah.
This has already been a busy week for 3rd Platoon Dog Company.
Right around that area is where we took the IDF from.
A routine patrol just outside of Combat Outpost Zormat the day before turned into an 18-hour firefight when insurgents tried to attack. It's been a busy week, and today is only Monday.
The thing to keep in mind, we are going to be picking out who's going in to call for prayer there and who's coming out.
The late afternoon sun is already casting long shadows, but Lieutenant Thomas Saylor briefs his platoon on the next mission at hand. Their Monday is just beginning.
Get him!
There isn't much time to waste right now. The soldiers want to get to a nearby mosque while locals are inside praying. So when they come out, they can be questioned about a bomb attack that just days earlier killed an Afghan family and child. But before 3rd Platoon Dog Company can go, they have to wait for the Afghan National Army.
They were supposed to meet us out here.
The Afghans are already 15 minutes late. This apparently happens fairly often.
Tell them let's go, man. Help me out, Bobby. Tell them to take us to the White Mosque in Karachi.
When the Afghans finally arrive, the foot patrol can finally begin. Late or not, the soldiers say it's still crucial they go out.
The Taliban are always present. The more that we're present, the bolder the people get to help the government and stand with ISAF.
And because it took so long for them to get going, prayer at the mosque is already over, and people are starting to leave. The platoon, though, is able to stop a few locals.
Sher Muhammad?
Sher Muhammad?
Yar Muhammad.
Yar Muhammad.
Y-A-R.
Yeah, Muhammad.
The men are photographed and added to a database that will eventually be given to the Afghan government when the U.S. leaves in 2014.
I don't want the people to be discouraged just because the fighters have arrived.
Meanwhile, the platoon leader has the delicate task of trying to get village elders to provide any information about that bomb attack, while also, as best he can, putting fears to rest.
I wanted personally to bring these out here for you guys to read.
The Taliban had left threatening messages at the mosque saying Americans can't be trusted. And it's here Lieutenant Saylor has to do damage control for the whole military.
I know that there have been some very rough tensions lately with recent events and American soldiers who have made mistakes.
The Taliban don't fight in the wintertime, so they're just now returning with extra anger after the burning of the Korans and killing of civilians by American soldiers in other parts of the country.
The soldiers that you have here that are living in the COP nearby respect the culture, respect the religion, and are genuinely here to help.
And as Lieutenant Saylor tries to build trust,
we got excellent collage for cover and everything, so we'll be all right.
Only yards away, the rest of the platoon and the Afghan soldiers are building security.
Let's just hope they come out and play.
Soldiers say there's a good chance insurgents will attack tonight. They're not happy after the U.S. confiscated materials that could be used to make bombs nearby.
We got plenty of collage here to hide in and fight from.
If the Taliban was to fire from anywhere, it would most likely be from the south. So there are a considerable amount of Afghan and U.S. eyes watching this direction. The U.S. soldiers are here as backup and mentors for the Afghan soldiers. And because they know as soon as the sun sets, it's time for prayer. And suddenly, the Afghan soldiers are off duty again. The Taliban didn't try to attack tonight, but soldiers say it's only a matter of time. Fighting season has just begun, and it's only Monday.
There is nothing that makes you callous to the loss of an individual and losing those closest to you.
There's an expectation we place on soldiers.
Today we mourn the loss of our fallen, Specialist Jeffrey White.
An expectation they be tough, fearless. But today, for a moment, members of the 1st Battalion, 501st Infantry Regiment let those expectations go.
Specialist White was a fantastic soldier.
And mourn the loss of a soldier who lived up to everything expected of him, and more.
He was an athlete, and he was courageous. He was everything you wanted in a soldier that stands beside you.
Specialist Jeffrey Lee White Jr. was many things to many people. More than a soldier, he was a friend, son, a brother, and he'd be the first to tell you, a huge St. Louis sports fan. But only a select few, these few, had the honor of calling him a battle buddy.
We did just about everything together.
Warriors honoring their fallen is a sacred private tradition that outsiders rarely witness, because even remembering the good times can be too tough.
We'd watch the St. Louis Cardinals and Blues all the time.
For even the toughest of warriors.
He was probably the happiest man in the world when he got to go home on leave and see the St. Louis Cardinals win the World Series.
There is a special bond formed between soldiers in battle, one most of us will never understand.
I used to call him my best friend. Now I call him my brother.
It's a bond that also comes with expectations. Expectations that if the time came, you'd make the ultimate sacrifice for not only your country,
Specialist Sheriff, here for Sergeant.
but for your battle buddy.
Specialist Remington, here for Sergeant.
And if he did the same for you,
Specialist White,
that you'd stop,
Specialist Jeffrey White,
salute,
Specialist Jeffrey L. White, Jr.
First Sergeant, he was killed in action April 3rd, 2012.
and finish the mission.
Write his name, Murrow.
It's an expectation all here plan to live up to.
Specialist Jeffrey White, it was a privilege to have known you and an honor to have served as your commander. May you rest in peace.
Todd Walker, Channel 2 News. The sun rises over the start of a new day. It is our first day, but for the members of the 1st Platoon Alpha Battery, it is just another day. Another patrol, and another chance to put the Afghans they've been training with for so long to the test.
This is our counterparts. We have a good relationship with these guys.
They say this should not be the most dangerous mission. The dangerous part was just a few days before. An IED blast badly injured a member of the Afghan Uniformed Police, and today the 1st Platoon with their Afghan counterparts are searching for the source of that blast. They think it's just up the road in a group of houses or kalats not far from here.
Yeah, they're going to start from this kalats right there.
Yep.
So you're going to have to put security for them,
Yep.
and they're just going to search everything.
All right, does he want me to send a couple guys with him?
With any luck, Alaska's soldiers won't be doing much work today. This is the AUP's mission, and the 1st Platoon is just here to provide backup.
So that right now, they're good. Wherever they need us, they're going to let us know.
Okay, so we'll just kind of wait here.
They'll also be supervising.
The AUP believes they know where the phone call was placed from.
Hopefully, just from afar, but always aware that the Afghans still have a lot of work to do before their country is in their control.
They've been progressively getting better.
In just a few years.
We won't say, you missed these buildings. You want to hit this building again? Just double check.
Kalat by kalat, members of the 1st Platoon and the AUP uncover either weapons.
I'm going to keep this, okay?
Or what could have been weapons.
It looks like it could be a mine casing.
Most of the locals say they don't know anything about it. This man says what Lieutenant Matthew Hickey claims is a mine casing is simply a stand for a water jug. Hickey doesn't buy it.
I mean, we're not going to get anything off of it, but we could bring it back anyways and see what kind of mines it holds or something like that.
And that's the way it goes most of the time.
Whoever did it, he's not going to come and say, hey, I did this. He'll just go and do stuff and go back. You're not going to catch me.
The soldiers believe the IED a few days ago was triggered by a cell phone.
It's the SIM cards. Like, they had a stack of fucking SIM cards, but they've been used.
Even with a bunch of SIM cards and no cell phone to go with them, the person who lives here claims they don't know a thing. The evidence isn't damning enough for them to confiscate anything, but the resistance from locals is nothing new. Despite trying to bond with the kids and engage with the adults, they're often left with little else than skepticism of locals who likely don't trust them either. And so it's on to another patrol, another chance to test these Afghan soldiers, and another day.